G'day! Today we're going to look at some of my personal favourite Weakauras and how I use them in World of Warcraft Legion. Righto, so this video is going to be split into three kind of main parts. At the beginning I'll talk about some of the Weakauras that I really like and where I got them. The second part I'll talk about what Weakauras the add-on is and why you might actually want to use it. And at the end I'll give you a step-by-step instruction for how to import the Weakauras from the beginning of the video into your particular game, and also give you a couple of websites that you might find it useful to find more Weakauras now that I've sort of whet your appetite, so to speak. And if you want to go hunting for stuff that's specific to your class and specific to your needs, I'll give you a couple of websites to start off with. Alright, so let's have a look. The first one we're going to have a look at is Weakauras for raids and dungeons in Legion. So this is a great little collection of Weakauras. It's in a Google Doc. Don't be dissing the Google Docs, man. And we have some Weakauras for bosses in Nighthold. We also have Trial of Valor, Emerald Nightmare, and some other boss-specific type things, along with some dungeons as well. The second one we're going to have a look at is an Ancient Mana and Artifact Power Weakaura. This one is actually one that I put together based on somebody else's, and then I tweaked it to make it look like Mario mushrooms. So if you've ever been to my Twitch stream and you've seen the mushrooms, this is the code for those two things. Basically what it does is it tracks the percentage that you have until basically your progress acquiring ancient mana. So how much of your maximum are you holding? If you're capped at 2,000, it'll tell you, if you've got 1,000, you're at 50% of your 2,000 that you can hold. And same for artifact power, it'll tell you, how far you are into your next trait being unlocked. The third one is a collection of Weakauras, which are really useful for a variety of classes. This very, very hard-working person has gone through and is leveling all of the classes and all of the specs to 110, and then creating essentially rotation guides using Weakauras. So there are add-ons that do provide help for rotations, but this is all done within Weakauras. So instead of downloading an extra add-on, if you have Weakauras installed, or if you choose to install it, you can just use these as is rather than having to download a specific add-on. The next one here is for tanks. If you are familiar with Sloopbag, who is a tank in Serenity, the EU-based guild who got world second in in Nighthold Mythic Progress, he mains basically tank, whatever it is. If it's a tank, he plays it. He has all of the tanks. He's been playing, at the time of this recording, he's been doing Brewmaster and Paladin mostly, but he has all of his Weakauras on his website. So I can't really show you what these look like because he's in the process of updating and changing the visual effects of them. But if you go to his live stream, hopefully I'll put a link in the description if I remember. I will try to. But if you go to his live stream, it's just twitch.tv/sloot, S-L-O-O-T, bag, B-A-G. And if you go to that website, and you can see them in action because he uses them on all these characters. So a great collection of Weakauras for tanks. The next one here, this is just sort of a utility one, I guess. If you use something like Exhaustus raid tools, not as useful, I suppose. But if you want something that doesn't rely on, such a large add-on, if you just want something really quick, if you're just into Mythic Plus content, or something like that, you don't need all of the extra raid stuff. This one gives you battle res. It gives you how many battle reses are available, when the next one will be available. So obviously when you've got, X number of people use their battle reses, you have to wait before the next one is available. So this shows you in a nice little sort of compact window. You can see the preview on the right hand side here. There's also a pull timer, so you can start a pull timer and stop it through the Weakaura, and also you can do a ready check, that kind of thing. The next part is the next part of the video. So those are the Weakauras that I want to talk about. At the end of the video, I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how to import those things into the add-on itself. So what is Weakauras? Why would you want it? For people who have never heard of Weakauras, or maybe you've heard it in the wind, but you've thought, why would I need this? This is Weakauras, or Weakauras 2 in particular. What it does is it takes events that happen within the game, things that you may not see, things that might happen on the back end, hidden away from your view, and it shows them to you in a very clear, easy to see visual representation, also with sound, and you can have animations. So you can have, for example, if let's say you've got a mage in your group and the mage pops time warp and you want to use all your cooldowns at the same time so you do as much damage as you want, you might have a really big icon appear in the middle of your screen that shakes and it screams at you and says, use your cooldowns, you noob, or something like that, because maybe you forget, maybe there's so much going on your screen and you want to optimize that time warp time to put as much damage into the boss as you can. So if you need help, if you're really good with tracking everything that's on your screen, Weakauras maybe isn't for you. Or if you don't care and you're just happy to play whatever, maybe Weakauras is a bit too complicated. Not complicated, it's the wrong word. Maybe a bit too unnecessary, can we say. But for those of you who want to maximize what it is that you do in the game for whatever reason, especially if you're doing like Mythic Plus content or raiding, Weakauras is fantastic. There is an alternative add-on which is called Tell Me When, TMW. These scripts do not work with Tell Me When. To install it, Curse is the website you want to go to. If you just Google Weakauras add-on, it'll link you to this page, and then you can either download it manually and install it if you know how to manually install add-ons, or if you have the Curse client, you can install it via there. So the next thing we're going to have a look at is where we get some Weakauras from. So the first thing here we have, can I refresh this page real quick, just make sure that you don't get all of the customized stuff that I just did then, experimenting with Wowhead. Let's say I'm in the Nighthold. Look at these beautiful ads. I'm in the Nighthold. I'm fighting with auto-playing ads. Get out of my face. I'm fighting with, is it Scorpiron? And there's that exoskeletal vulnerability ability that he has. That was an interesting sentence to say. And during that time, for 15 seconds, he takes increased damage. So we pop Heroism or Bloodlust, and I want to pop all of my cooldowns and just go ham on the boss kind of thing. So in that 15-second window, I personally want to know when is it going to start, when is it going to stop, so I can line up things and I can just go pew 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 into the boss. In this particular ability, when I go to Wowhead and I search for the ability, or I go through the guides, good old Wowhead guides. If you're not familiar with Wowhead, it's a really great resource. But I go into Nighthold, I find the boss that I want, Scorpiron, and then I find the particular ability, and on the right hand side there should be a Weakauras export. If there isn't one, it's because it hasn't been written yet, but I'm pretty sure all of the Nighthold ones should be there. If not, it might be something that you have to come back to and check later. So I click on this, and then it shows me what the Weakaura actually looks like. So there's a little shield icon and then this progress bar. So over the 15-second duration, this bar gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually it stops. So I can basically, if I'm happy with that, it's a good size, it's a good color, it's a good shape, all right, I'm going to click copy. Now, once I've copied it, maybe I think, actually the icon's a bit small. I don't think I like that. I'm going to go down the bottom here where it says customize. And here I can actually customize a few different options. So I don't want a progress bar. I want a big one. Yeah, that's better. So that's clearer. I'm old and I can't see these things. So I need really big icons. Maybe I don't want a progress bar. Maybe I just want an icon and the progress actually depletes, so the image desaturates during the time. Maybe that's my preference. I can also, in the progress bar options, I can change the color. Let's say white. White doesn't really say go ham on the boss. What's a good ham color? Pink. Pink means ham, ham means go ham. Something. Or maybe red. Red means dead, kill the boss. I don't know. Whatever triggers your learning style. Your memory rather. So I'm happy with this. Okay, it looks good. Then I'll click copy. I go back into WoW now that my character is now AFK, excuse me, and I'm going to type /WA. So this is obviously after you've installed the Weakauras add-on. If you have it installed, Bob's your uncle. If you don't, you do need to install it first. Ignore all of this. This stuff you probably will only see if it's your first Weakaura. It might say new and loaded, and that's it. I've used Weakauras for a long time, and I have a lot of Weakauras that I'm using on other characters, so I've got this extra not loaded window. If you don't have that, don't stress. If you do, don't stress either. Going to new at the top, just make sure that that's clicked, so it'll be blue if it's clicked. And then on the right hand side, you're going to go down to the bottom where it says import. I'm going to click on that, and this little window comes up. It says paste text below. I'm going to press Control and V if I'm on a Windows. I think it's Command V on a Mac. It's just copy paste, that's all. And it says exoskeletal vulnerability. Here's my little thing. That's the one I'm looking at. I'm going to click import. And there it is. So I can move the window out of the way if I want to move this around. Now this in the middle of my face, I don't like where that is. So I'm going to click somewhere in this little grey box. I'm actually going to click and I'm going to drag it somewhere else. Maybe I'm going to put it down near my action bar down here. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm done. So what will happen now, when I close Weakauras, that bar's going to disappear. Why? Because I'm not in the Nighthold and I'm not fighting Scorpion, and the ability exoskeletal vulnerability is not happening right now. But the moment I'm in there and the moment all of those conditions fall into place, this will appear exactly as I see it here. It won't have this little border around it. That's just basically the container, and it shows me where it is, that kind of thing. But it'll only have the icon and that little edge, basically. If you want to get into more in-depth in Weakauras, in the window here on the right hand side, this is where you can change sizes and you can change extra things. I wouldn't recommend this if you're not familiar with Weakauras. If this is your first time using it, just copy paste and move things around as you see fit. But you can do a lot more customizing. You can change the colors, the icons, you can add sounds, you can add animation, you can specify which character these things appear on. You can specify multiple characters but not other characters, that kind of stuff. Okay, but that's more sort of an advanced thing. If you're interested in knowing that kind of stuff, if you would actually like a more advanced guide to Weakauras, maybe leave a comment below, let me know. I don't know. Okay, so that's that one done. Okay, the next site that we have, Weakauras. Weakauras? I never know. .io websites. I don't know how you say them. Is it Wago.io? I don't know. I'm just going to call it Weakauras because that sounds fun. On the Weakauras website, you've got a variety of Weakauras, heaps and heaps and heaps of them. So if, for example, I want maybe some general utilities and I have a little bit of a scroll through, what have we got? Anything interesting? Something that tells me if cast is interruptible. Something that screams at me when I get in combat. If I'm missing an enchant, this will scream at me. In Quarter Stars, it tells me what usable items are available. So here's a few interesting things. So this is kind of a lot of stuff in here. These are all written by people. Now, with something like this, okay, I'm going to do a bit of a PSA at this point, especially if you're new to Weakauras. There's something that you need to know. Weakauras can contain something called custom LUA code. There is a vulnerability in that where people can do things in the code, to be very vague and not to scare you too much, but let's say unscrupulous people can do things with the code that can actually get things that you don't want to give them. Not to go into too specific situations, but there are security risks with using Weakauras. The add-on itself is fine. It's basically what people do with the code. So when you get a Weakaura, you need to make sure you trust who you're getting it from. So the websites that I've shown you and the Weakauras that you see me import, these are ones that I've used before and I'm totally comfortable with. If I go to a website like this, let's say, for example, this one here. So this is February 13th, which is today. So this one has low views, but that's okay because it was today. Can I find something? Is there anything that's maybe really old? Excuse me while I scroll wildly. Can I find something like from December last year and give you an example? Sorry for the uncontrolled scrolling. I know it's frustrating when you watch somebody scrolling through a screen, especially when there's something you want to look at. Okay, let's say, for example, now there's nothing, I'm not saying that this is a bad Weakora, but take, for example, this one here. So this is from Christmas Day. Oh, that must have been a good Christmas. Views 220, no comments and no stars. Now, this seems to be a pretty niche Weakora. Maybe this low view means that people just aren't interested in it. It's not something that a lot of people need. It could also mean that maybe it's not trustworthy. I'm not saying it isn't. I look at this and think, there's not many views. Okay. However, if we have a look at something like, can I find, excuse the speed scrolling, can we find something that has like a lot of views? So something like this. So we've got views 7,500. This was at the end of January and has 26 stars. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so this is this B-Res Pool Timer one that I was talking about. This one here, even 17,000 with 14 stars. So that kind of stuff. So the onus is on you. Any Weakoras that I use in here, I take the risk of actually importing them. Just if you have somebody who's really good at reading code and can translate it for you and say, yes, this is safe, or actually there's a line in here that's going to make you open a trade with somebody and give them all their money and you don't even know that you're doing it. Which has happened in the past to people using Weakauras. Weakauras is pretty good. They've plugged a lot of the problems, but I mean, people will people. Here's another one, 50,000 views, 33 stars, you know, that kind of thing, when they've got comments. So yeah, it's just be aware there are security risks with Weakauras. If you're happy to take that on, it's your choice, totally your choice. Okay, so let's say we're going to, can I find, let me get that add-on again. Sorry, I'm just going to scroll through real quick. Oh, did I close the window? Oh no, here it is. No, we're good. Okay, so this is the Wago IO, and in here I've got the preview. So this is the one that has the battle res and it tells me when the next one's available, pull timer, etc, etc. I'm going to go over the right here. It says copy import string, so I'll just click on that and it says copied. Then we're going to go back into WoW, and again my character is AFK because this video has taken me a really long time to do. I'm going to type /WA to bring up the Weakora options. Again at the top, new on the left, down the bottom to the right hand side, import, Control V or Command V if you're on a Mac to paste the script. Now here, this one's different. You notice from the the Wowhead, apologies, the Wowhead website, we didn't have this little extra thing. This is this custom LUA code that I was talking about. I'm happy to use this because it looks like it's safe. I'm going to take that risk upon myself, so I'm going to click import. If you're not, totally understandable. Okay, so now I've got, here it is here. Where do I want it? Maybe I'm going to put it down here. That looks good. So we've got battle res, we've got this kind of thing. Alright, that's alright. If I want to tweak it a little bit more, I can. I probably will on my main. This is one that I'm going to use. I found it today trying to do this video. I was like, hey, that looks really good. I'm actually going to use this. So maybe that's it. Looks good? Okay, then I can close off. So you notice I'm not in a dungeon, so there's, in this case, it's not appearing out of combat, which tells me there's probably some load conditions, maybe. Not load conditions. There'll be some triggers, which I can't see without going into the code. But there's obviously something about, there's some condition that this is only going to happen maybe when I'm in a dungeon. And there are battle reses or something like that. So there'll be some conditions somewhere in the code that will make this appear at the time I need it to. But outside of that, that's a good thing about Weakauras. You can set them up so when you don't need them, they're not cluttering your screen. At the same time, if you want them to, you also have that option that you can have everything up on your screen. Okay, let's go back to my browser and we'll have a look at, that's the curse one, that's the Wowhead one, which we have done. What else do we want to import? This is the other interesting Weakauras. So this is just the random stuff, as I said. So Wago.io, or Wago.io. Another good website is called Weakauras.online. And this one's very similar to Wago.io. And you just basically go in here, have a look. I like how this sort of represents things nice and visually. It's a bit easier to see what it is that you're actually looking at. So here's some Havoc auras if you want to play a Havoc, mostly PvP. Beast Mastery, what else have we got? Windwalker Monk, oh look, it's in German. Frosty K by Fish. What else? So there's a few different things in here, so you can just sort of scroll through, and again the same sort of thing. Basically here, if you're happy with it, you just click copy or a code, and then you do exactly the same thing. Go into Weakauras, Control V to import it. Okay, the last one, which is going back to the boss encounters. So let's say I'm going into Nighthold. My guild says, hey, let's go into Nighthold. Oh, I've never played Nighthold before. What is this interwebs thing that you're talking about? I go to, so say Scorpion, and I know there's a few different abilities, and I could go to MMO Champion and import that one specific ability, or I can go to this guy. This guy is awesome. What he's done is he's basically made custom Weakauras for all of the fights. So he's gone out of his way. This is stuff that he uses, and he's made it available to all of us plebs, I like to say. So this guy is amazing. So let's say I go into Scorpion. I'm going to, where it says next to the boss, I can go click. If you want to import all of the bosses, there'll be this option. At the moment, at the time of this recording, obviously it hasn't been done yet. It's not all in one Weakaura pack, but Trial of Valor is good. Emerald Nightmare is all done, that kind of thing. So let's go Scorpion. I'm going to click it. It's saying redirect notice, that's okay. So it's sending me to wago.io, which is fine. I'm happy with that website. And here it is. Okay, so it says tier 19, first boss, Scorpion. Going to go over the right hand side, copy import string. It says copied. We're going to go back into World of Warcraft. I'm going to type /WA, and we're going to just, if you find you've got all this sort of stuff on your screen, don't worry about that. You can minimize things. If you have a look down the left hand side, you'll see there's some icons that are flush on the left, and there are other ones that have these little arrows next to them. They are called children, so they're part of the parent, which is at the top. And if you click on the little collapse button, you can reduce all of them just to visually make it a little less cluttered. So let's go up to top, new. Down the right hand side, import, Control V or Command V to paste. This one, no custom code. So this one, totally safe, no problems. Click import. And here we go. So I've got, oh man, there's huge icons. They're right in the middle of my screen. Let's move the Weakaura window out of the way a little bit. And now, so I'm going to look at the container. On the left-hand side, there's a little padlock. That is where it's anchored. So what this tells me is that all of these icons are not going to appear at the same time. They're actually only going to show the first icon here. And this icon is going to be replaced by whatever it is that's happening in the fight. So let's say this icon here, if you're familiar with the fight, there's a point where you have to hide behind little crystal pillars. This add-on, and this Weakaura actually tells you when you are safely away, when you're hidden away. Because sometimes, you think, oh, I'm a massive Tauren. Am I really actually hidden? So, or am I going to get, knocked into the walls kind of thing? So this actually changes. So when you hide behind the pillar, this icon appears in this place. And it says, yes, you're safe. If there's more than one ability happening simultaneously, then it will actually give you two. But for something like this, it's usually just the one ability. So I can, as you can see, if I click and drag, I can click and drag on anywhere on here. I can click and drag on this side, anywhere within this anchor, and I can position it where I want. The icons are nice and big. Raid fights, they get pretty hectic. Having a nice big icon is pretty good. So let's say I want I want the icon to kind of be here in relation to her head. Actually, no, let's make it up here. Yeah, that looks good. And then we're good. Then we're done. Okay, and then you can do that for all of the other encounters as well in Nighthold. Can I get you back to that? Okay, so this next one here, having a look at these rotation helpers. So this is on MMO Champion. This is also linked in the video description. All of this stuff, video description, as does every other YouTube video. Let's see, Shaman. Shaman. Okay, I am, what am I? This is a good question. I actually don't even know what spec I am. Let me close this one. Do I have it? I'm Restoration. Okay, let's go Elemental. Nobody plays Elemental. And, okay. This is my level 100, by the way. So I've got all my abilities here. I've got nothing on my action bars, just for reasons pertaining to recording a video and wanting to look a little less cluttered. But let's say I go into MMO Champ. I am Elemental. Now, well, there's a couple of things here. So first row has rotation helpers. Second row contains cooldown-based auras, creating DPS specs as a test. Okay, so this one down here is for cooldowns, and this one is more of a rotation. Let's try the rotation for funsies. So I'm going to click, can I click on one of these? It's actually in the heading here. So it's not the individual animated GIF that you're looking at. Good old wago.io again. And we want Shaman Elemental Rotation. Okay, so there's Resource Tracker, Resto Resource, Enhance Resource, LE Resource, and LE Rotation. So I'm going to go down to this one. So this is a collection, as you can see. So instead of it being on the right-hand side to import the string, I'm going to go down here. 522 views, 1 star. Having said that, I've used some of these other Weakauras and I didn't have any problems with them. So I'm okay with this, with my experience. Copy import string. Go back into World of Warcraft once again. /WA. Left-hand side, new. Right-hand side down the bottom, import. Control-V or Command-V. There's no custom script. Looks good. Import. Haha, there it is. So again, not all these icons are going to appear. It'll just be the first one, and then if I go to a training dummy, these icons will be replaced. I'm not going to demonstrate how it works. I'm just demonstrating how to actually import the script. Sorry. And then so these icons will move around just as they do in the demo in the MMO website. Is there anything else that we want to mention? I think that's basically it. So hopefully you've found this useful. If you did, and if you think that this was worth my time, because my God, it is so hot in Australia at the moment. So it's taken me a couple of weeks to actually find a relatively cool night where I can not have fans running so I can record audio. So if it was, if it was a good thing to do, please let me know. Comment below, like the video, share it with all your friends and guildmates and anybody that you think would benefit from it. If not, I will never do another video. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to keep doing videos whether people like them or not. But hopefully, seriously, hopefully you did find something useful. If you have any questions, I probably, to be honest, the nature of YouTube, it's not the best place to ask for help with add-ons. There's a Discord for Weakauras. If you just Google Discord Weakaura or Weakaura website, there's lots of information on there. That's probably a best place because you're going to get real-time replies. You can ask me if you want. I might take a week to get back to you. That's the only thing, because I don't check YouTube videos that comment that often and that kind of thing. So rather than sit around going, I need help and not getting any, try the Discord Weakaura, the Weakaura on Discord, the Weakaura group. The Weakaura Discord? What do we call them? Because I say like the Guardian Druid Discord, the Druid Discord. So the Weakaura Discord just sounds weird. If you don't know what Discord is, it's like Skype but better. Basically it's communities. Yeah. So hopefully I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you very much for the company. Enjoy the rest of your morning, day, afternoon, evening, whatever the case may be. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video, whenever that will be. Probably during winter. because my God, it is so hot. Goodbye. When you're trying to record a video and somebody just doesn't take the hint. Like, of all the places you could run and stop, you're literally going to stop in the most inappropriate place while I'm trying to record a video and he's not moving. Hooray!